Welcome to our weekly World Climate Change News. An enormous iceberg in the Antarctica has broken on from its larger mass and is now floating in the southern oceans. The ice has fragmented from the Emery ice shelf, as was previously predicted by the scientists. The size of the broken iceberg could be 5 times the size of Malta. While a professor at the Scripps Institution of Oceanography in San Diego, Helen Amanda Fricker, said that this event is a part of a healthy ice shelf life cycle, the role of climate change in this event is also undeniable. Meteorologists and hurricane specialists have been expressing concerns over Hurricane Lorenzo reaching Category 5 intensity further east than any other tropical cyclone since 1851. Meteorologists at Colorado State University have advanced their view that Category 5 storms forming in the Atlantic normally fail to reach Category 5 status due to the cold weather and variable winds in the northeastern side of the Atlantic, which prevents them from gaining strength at that stage. But conditions were different for Hurricane Lorenzo, which reached its peak strength in the middle of the North Atlantic. Findings have emerged from the longest coral reef survey to date, revealing the sobering news that our reefs are not likely to return to their original condition as a result of negative impact of local and global environmental change. Studying data collected for over 100 years, researchers were able to examine the long-term negative implications of climate change on coral reefs. They observed a systematic decline and weakening of coral abundance, structure, and diversity, which may be irreversible. Rising temperatures and extreme events, increased humidity and low market prices due to pests and disease are forcing coffee producers in Peru to abandon coffee production and turn to other sources of income as they struggle to harvest healthy crops. Experts predict that up to half the land where coffee grows would become unusable by 2050. The quality of coffee could be diminished, but its prices tend to increase. According to a study by scientists, human activities like burning fossil fuels and clearing forests generate as much as 100 times the carbon emissions of volcanic eruptions every year. The findings are part of a 10-year study by the Deep Carbon Observatory (DCO), a global team of around 500 scientists. While volcanoes and other natural processes generate 0.28 to 0.36 gigatons of carbon dioxide per year, DCO said that human activity released more than 37 gigatons in 2018. In total, human annual emissions are 40 to 100 times greater than those of volcanoes. 4 elephant carcasses were discovered on Friday, including a pregnant female, and another 3 the following day. It is believed that all 7 elephants belong to the same herd. Another elephant was found dead on Monday from a gunshot wound. The International Union for Conservation of Nature considers Asian elephants endangered due to their decrease in population numbers, namely from the conflict that arrived through agricultural production and resource extraction like hunting and logging. The Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change (IPCC) estimates that the Arctic has lost around 12.8% of its surface area between 1979 and 2018. Not only is this unprecedented for at least 1,000 years, the Arctic could shrink even more if no action is taken. Ice melt accounts for 1.8 millimeters of sea level rise annually. The IPCC concluded 2 possible situations. The most optimistic scenario forecasts an average increase of 1.6 degrees Celsius over the 2081-2100 period, while the pessimistic scenario with business as usual forecasts an average increase of 4.3 degrees Celsius. A new research from the University of Sheffield provided the growing evidence that the historic landscapes across the UK have already been affected by the climate change impacts, such as sea level rise, coastal erosion and flooding. For example, the Dicynni Valley in Wales, which is home to military remains dating back to the Second World War, is at risk of being severely damaged. Almost 200 melon-headed whales or mid-sized dolphins washed up ashore on a beach at Cape Verde Islands. Although volunteers dragged some dolphins back to the sea, they still returned, leaving almost 136 dolphins dead. While scientists have not been able to explain the cause of this unusual stranding yet, they believe it could be because of one or a combination of factors, such as sickness, routine issues, falling tides, threat of a predator, or climate change. Investigations are underway to boil down on the exact cause of this mass stranding. Scientists have found how extinction of dinosaurs had impacted effectiveness of the ecosystem. Subsequent to the massive asteroid strike, ocean ecosystems were disrupted for 2 million years, and it took roughly 8 million years to recover. The crux of the findings is that loss of diversity could adversely impact the effectiveness of the ecosystem. Scientists fear that the current rate of losing species because of human overpopulation and climate change could result in the sixth mass extinction, as was predicted in 2017. Moreover, a 2018 study has indicated that it could take 3 to 5 million years to recover the biodiversity that is poised to be lost in the next 50 years. Thank you for watching. This was Alexandra on Weekly World Climate Change News. Please subscribe to our channel and join us here next week.